My name is Ayodeji Razaq. I'm the co-founder of Riquesa Africa, and this is my share of voice. For me, it's a number of things. First, what is the brand's original ideology? What is their philosophy? What do they stand for? Because it's very important that we understand that as a means of understanding how we are going to do the work that they want us to do. The second thing is, what kind of audiences do they want to reach? Now, a lot of brands have an audience profile that they've created. We would, instead of just taking it verbatim and say, oh, we want to reach millennials in this social economic group, SEC, C1, B2, we are more interested in understanding who they are, like what kind of people are they talking about? Are they bricklayers? Are they typical white job owners? Now, the reason is that over and above just categorizing them in socioeconomic classes, you can sometimes be able to distill even further and find that even in those socioeconomic classes, because Nigeria's middle class is very big, so even those socioeconomic classes, we'll find people that are closer to the audience that they are trying to reach, and then we can reach those people and do proper campaigns for them. The third thing that we like to look out for would be so the brand personality, the brand people. So a brand can have a personality, but you can also have what we call the, look for a better word to describe it. Now, a lot of people when they ask me about brands, I like to describe it like a tree. So think like a typical tree, and your tree has branches, it has trunk, and it has leaves. Now, for us, the roots, which are the core principles of the brand, we understand that a lot of them communicate quickly. The trunk, again, these are the culture of the brand. This is how. So if I'm doing work for a brand like Google, for example, Google is a very fun, young, modern brand. The kind of audiences they want to attract, the kind of events they want to have, you want you to always be innovative, always enjoy it. It has to be an enjoyable process. Those kinds of brands, those kinds of audiences are very important for us. Now, if we understand that this is how Google is, over and above these days, Google are a very respectful brand. Respect is important. Now, we have a similar culture as a business, but because we know that we're working with Googlers, we always have to bring that, dial up those elements in our project, having the hostesses go over and above when it comes to respect. I mean, it's our typical core process, but because it's a Google project, this is too important to them. Do you understand what I'm saying? And the case in point is you compare that with a brand like, say, Unity Bank. Now, these are brands that, for them, the culture of the audience you're speaking to is important. So if I'm doing a project for Unity Bank, I have to understand that because it's a very respectful brand. They're not respectful in terms of our African culture. Google is respect over and above the African culture. They want it to be polite and all that. But with Unity Bank, we cannot have the same kind of hostesses. Now, if a hostess says, hi, good morning, with Google, it's all good and fun. But with Unity Bank, you may need to put sir. Because the person you're speaking to, takes it a little bit personal when you don't address him with the right title and say sir. Now with Google, everybody's fair and equal. I mean, good morning, good morning. I mean, sir is all great, but they will just say, oh, no, don't call me sir. There's all that casualty. But with Unity Bank, you have to dial it up. Good morning, sir. You need to transmit, and that's very important for us when we're dealing with these brands. And we take that information and then we build our projects around this information so that we're addressing the right kind of audience and speaking the right way for the brands. The first thing is what kind of, like I said, if you answer all these three questions that I mentioned earlier, if you want to build an experiential brand, that would mean you are trying to build a brand that leaves an impression, which is pretty much every brand. You want people to build a project that leaves an impression, leaves questions, that leave you excited, that leave you wanting to engage with them. I'm not going to mention names, but there are a couple of brands we worked with before that you'd be like, oh man, I don't want to do this again. Now, not because the brand was not great, but because the people that make up the audience of the brand, they are not the most fun-loving. I'm a fun-loving person. I love my job. I love what we do. But when we are speaking about making an experiential brand, it means you're trying to leave a lasting impression that survives time. To do that, you must, again, like a tree, you must dial down on the important things. Your brand must have core rules. What are your core values? Are you looking for these types of values? Now, at Riquesa, for us, respect is very important. Respect for ourselves, respect for our clients, and respect for the work that we do. those are our core values. We live by these very principles. For anybody trying to build a brand, you have to have this baseline principles that whatever happens, you must respect the people, respect the brand you work for, and respect the work that we do. So if you respect the work that we do, you would understand that you should not come late to work. It's not, don't come late for me, but don't come late for the work, because the work requires you to be there at that time. Do you understand? Now, these are the core things that we believe in as Riquesa, and they form the foundation of our, again, using the tree model, of our trunk, of our roots, I mean. For the trunk, our cultural values. Now, what kind of people are we? We like you to speak your truth, to hone up to your conversations. We don't, if you come into a Riquesa office, typically everybody is engaging, everybody has an opinion, and we respect it. We want you to speak it. Now, because we understand that your colleagues are going to be respected by you, it is too important that you also transmit that as a brand owner to our clients and all that. So we'll go into a conference room, we'll go into any boardroom, and we're pitching an idea. The most important thing that we take away from that is that people respect us, people respect our opinion, because we go in there and we're confident enough to speak it, regardless of who it is, from the intern to the COO. Everybody has a voice, and we're allowed to be heard. It's too important. Now, the leaves, which is what we call the brand personality. Now, those are fluid and change with the seasons. Right now, I always advise that if you're trying to build a brand of your own, you're trying to build a project of your own, you must be able to adapt, because again, seasons change and requirements change with each season. You understand what I'm saying? Like, if at some point in your brand growth, you are, like now at Riquesa, we are passionately, aggressively looking for people who are confident and outspoken. But again, we might, if the social media bill gets passed and there's a gag on free speech, then we have to dial down on how much free speech, recruiters were engaging. Before someone goes online and tweets something that brings, do you understand? Now, you must understand the seasons, and you must recruit according to seasons, and you must, be able to adapt your brand personality according to the seasons. That's too important. Now, if you're trying to build an experiential brand that would last and survive time, these core principles must exist. So for us at Riquesa, we do not have one way of creating. We're a fluid environment. We're constantly evolving. We work on a project where we like to live like chameleons. We always tell people that ideation is what we live by. Every time we sit in a conference room and we're trying to create a new brief or trying to address a new brief, we are not there sitting and saying, oh, this is the best way to do this. We don't have a 5 steps to ideating model. As a matter of fact, we've had situations whereby we want to create a new concept and we actually just go out. We leave the office, go to a bar, maybe we're working for a beer brand, and we say, what's the best way to do a bar activation? You can't create a bar activation in a conference room. So we go to the bar, we sit there and we're asking ourselves, so what would you do differently here? What would make this an experience? Do you understand what I'm saying? Now, to answer your question, what is the most interesting way to create experiences? For us, it is what is required on the project. Now, we will do whatever it is. I always tell people I'm looking for the day where we have to work for a brand like Mercedes, and then, of course, I'll get to drive a GLK or some huge vehicle, just test drive it so that I can understand the brand and I can sell it properly. That's the dream. For us, that's what is important. We must exist in the brands that we're trying to sell, and then we use that to ideate and create new projects for them. Anytime they ask this question, it always finds funny to me, because, to be honest with you, I don't know that I have a cutout space. I'm saying, 5 years time, 10 years time. We are growing. We do not have limits in what we believe we can do. As it is now, we have presence in Nigeria, we have presence in Ghana, and we're trying to build our presence in Kenya. In 5 years, if I'm being definite, and I'll say, maybe we'll be in Dubai, we'll be in Europe, but the reality is that it's not really about where we are as a business, it's really about what we would have created. I believe that in 5 years, we should be the standard bearer for ideation, standard bearer for creating experiences that actually are meaningful and leave people wanting to engage with brands. For us, that's what's important, and it's about living a legacy of ideation, not necessarily about, fiscal or financial goal. Hi, I'm Ayodeji, and thank you for watching my Share of Voice.